someone different or something different?
All the deities, we call them deities because they're all representative of that one God. And that's a very good question. What do they represent? We know that God is infinity, infinite, absolute. There's no beginning, there is no middle, there's no end. So with that note, it means to us in Hinduism that God can take as many forms, as many names as you can think of, as many forms as you can think of, in all color, all shape, whatever. I mean, He's infinite. He's the one that can make His form as many. Or if there is another word that means more than many, then that's really what I mean to say, because we cannot even measure many in our mundane, knowledge and thoughts. So God, these are just some special forms that we represent, we think God looks like. And the reason why is because the forms represent something that is very important to us that we need. For instance, starting to the very far right, the elephant god, which many of you probably already know, that Hinduism, there's an elephant god, and he's the one who would remove all obstacles, and he brings happiness to me. So that is what Ganesh Bhagwan, he's a personification of knowledge and innocence. And so anything that we crave for and desire, even you would find that many businessmen, they would have the murti of Ganesh Bhagwan in their office or in their business or whatever, because he helps for progress. And so Ganesh Bhagwan is like the gatekeeper there. If he's there, then no obstacle can, penetrate. So that's why we glorify God in this form as the remover of obstacles, of impediments, anything that will affect us, because we cannot see our future, but He can. The Lord knows what our future, our destiny, our fate is. And so if we surrender to that form of thinking, of God, then by all means. Then the next form is Ma Durga. We also honor the female and also feel that the universal God can be in the form of a woman, can be a form of a man, can be a form of an animal, or anything, because that is God. He has the power to do whatever He wants to. So we also give glorification to the form of the mother. And Durga Ma represents power and Shakti, strength. We all need power and strength to carry out our daily sustenance, our daily lives. And in order to have that, we personify God in that form, so that we can also receive that power, that Shakti. When we are wanting, if we desire something, all we can think of is that one desire, right? Until that desire is fulfilled, we do not stop thinking. So if we can personify God and thinking, oh, okay, this is you, oh God, I desire you, then we cannot go wrong. We're still thinking of the mother. We're still thinking of, we're not stop thinking of God, because we must always, Bhagavad Gita tells us that we must always keep our focus on God. Keep your focus on me. So this is a way of not, maybe a little slick way, but it's not, thinking that I'm going to keep my attention away from God for this moment because I need to fulfill this desire. But at the back of our mind, if we keep that this is God, and I am wanting God, and I concentrate on God, I focus on God, because God is knowledge, God is wealth, God is strength, then you have not shifted your attention from God. You're constantly thinking, although in that form of a desire, but that's already God. So you're not, shifting your attention away from God. On the center, we have our Guru. Like one of you asked if Guru was one or Guru is many. Well, Guru is God also. Guru is God, God is Guru. And again, Guru can come in many forms. And in this form here, he came as the world teacher. Acharya Swami Pranavanandaji Maharaj, he came to the world when there were a lot of atrocities going on in India in the year 1896. And so at that time, people were very suppressed, and they didn't know who they were. They forget who they were, being that they were enslaved for so many years, hundreds of years, by foreign rulers, foreign invaders. So Guru Maharaj came at that time to fulfill one of his devotees' wishes, and in so doing was able to lift up mankind from the slum that they were in. And after he performed his duty, what he came for, after 45 years, he left the world, the material world. So he left his teachings, and he left, most of his teachings were based on the teachings of the Buddha, on the teaching of Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita, and the Bible of Hinduism. So we continue, performing his mission and propagating his teachings as well. And then to the left is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, the preserver. That was his 11th incarnation. Did I say 11th incarnation? His 7th incarnation of Lord Rama. So Lord Rama, he left his teachings, his legacy was left in the Ramayana. If we study the Ramayana, that will give us a gist of his teachings and his life. And so his teaching was, in a nutshell, to help mankind to live, how to live their life. Popular god in Hinduism, and many people who likes to have build muscles and all of that. Yeah. So they would pattern their life after him. Also, he's one of the greatest devotees that walked the face of the earth. So anyone who wants to develop devotion, and devotion is one of the ingredients that one needs to have in order to call themselves a Hindu. So Hanumanji would be the perfect one to pattern your life and imbibe his teachings. And then next to Hanumanji is Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is another incarnation of Lord Vishnu, a very recent incarnation, the 8th incarnation, 5,500 years ago. And Bhagavad Gita, the way of life, is what he left after he performed his duty and left the world. And today, Bhagavad Gita represents, anyone throughout the world, no matter what religion, what faith, what your practice is. If Bhagavad Gita is study and practice, you can become, the perfect devotee there is, and live the perfect life that mankind should. So Lord Krishna is very, very great incarnation that came 5,500 years ago.